Welcome to the Valley Gardner. I'm Jackie Williams Courtwright, the Valley Gardner. We're here on location at Alden Lane Nursery. And at the moment, the weather is gentle. Again, Mother Nature looks like she's going to ramp up the heat. So we've got to be prepared. Remember, you want to water ahead of the heat, hydrate those plants so that what they can do is be resistant to that super hot weather. I'm just going to share with you what happens if it's not hydrated. This is my tomato, and it's perfectly edible, but guess what? And people would look at this and go, oh my gosh, it's like a disease, an insect. All it was sunburn, and it only was because the plants were a tiny bit thirsty at the time of that heat spike. So anyway, that's what that is. Cut it off, enjoy it, use it. Oh my gosh, wait till you see the delicious recipe that Pam is going to be sharing that includes tomatoes a little bit later. But this is the time. Well, first things first. Thank you, Nancy and team, for putting this incredibly beautiful set together. It is glorious. August, in every color, every form, every texture. Isn't it just phenomenal? It is so, so beautiful. Thank you for that. And then also, thank you for coming out to Art Under the Oaks. Mother Nature was extremely kind. We had 2 days that were under 90 degrees. We had 38 artists. We had music both days. We had LARPD Foundation here pouring wine tastes, and that all those proceeds went to the foundation, which was really, really nice. So thank you for coming. It was an extraordinary weekend, and we had a really, really good time. So August is what I call the renew, refresh, get started time. We're at the very, very beginning of fall planting season. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting there. But it is time to refresh. I can tell you that the beautiful, beautiful pots that I shared with you earlier in the season in my backyard with the incredibly fun combination of flowers, the petunias and salvia and Angelina, just have given their all. And there are a few elements of those pots that are still looking okay, but the rest of them need to be refreshed. And so I'm going to be sharing some of those beautiful flowers that we can add. So remove the ones that need to go and then kind of add this new color. And there's nothing like lifting the spirit, seeing a pot filled with gorgeous blooming color. Oh my goodness. And it's perfect because we're on our patios, eating our wonderful meals at night, gathering or having our cup of coffee in the morning, and being surrounded by this beauty is just uplifting. So speaking of renewal, we do this every August, and it's going to be another reminder, and I'm sure those of you that have been with me for the last 30 Augusts on this show will be able to go along with me and know exactly what we're doing. But this is the time when, after a couple of those really hot days that catch us off guard, we end up with crispy leaves on plants. And this is a Japanese maple, and you can see its little crispy leaves here. And I learned from an old bonsai guy, Dr. Denton, that what you can do is you can do something called leaf pruning. And this leaf pruning really should be happening no later than August. You know, earlier the better, middle of August, you can get it done at the end of August. But what you do is you take your little nippers, and look at these cool little nippers. These are like perfect, really darling little nippers. And what you're going to do is you're going to end up with this. Can you see kind of that skeleton of a branch that has absolutely no leaves on it? Here, this is maybe even better yet. Last night I just kind of nipped these off so you got kind of the look of the after. And now this is the before. And what we're going to do is we're going to just demonstrate to you that what you're going to do is you're going to, the leaves are in pairs. They're opposite. So what we're going to do is we're going to nip off these pairs of leaves. You're not going to remove the stem. Don't prune you. Be careful. Wear your gloves, not like me, not wearing gloves. And we're going to nip off every single crispy leaf on the plant. And I'm not going to spend the whole time doing this, but you get the idea, until you have kind of this bare bones plant. And pruning, as you've learned through the years with me, pruning is stimulating. And so when we've removed these crispy leaves, the plant goes, huh, I need more leaves. And it sends a signal to the plant and says, okay, let's refresh. So these bare branches in 6 weeks will be completely and totally refreshed. And the timing could not be better, because guess what? Japanese maples are known for their incredibly beautiful fall color. And crispy leaves are not going to color up and look really good, but guess what? If you have brand new, fresh leaves that kind of harden up just before fall, they're going to turn those incredibly beautiful colors, and you're going to have a great fall show. So this is refreshing your Japanese maple. And you know, you might want to think about getting some of these little nippers. Now, to do some prevention of this, earlier in the season, I'm just going to, well, after you do this, what you want to do is feed. And we have Happy Frog Japanese maple food, which is this fun all organic. We have Maxi kelp-based acid fertilizer, tablespoon per gallon. Making sure, remember, you never feed a thirsty plant. You always water the day before and then feed it the next day, as long as it's not a super hot day. I would say over 85. Do not be treating or spraying. Earlier in the season, after the leaves harden up, to delay this, you can spray with Wilt Stop. It kind of coats the leaf and insulates the moisture in. Another product that we learned from our bonsai friends is using a product called Protect, which is a supplement that you add to the water early in the season, and it actually thickens the skin of the leaf up and makes it more resistant. So this is our maple renewal. We're on the shady side of the set, and so we have this beautiful complement of azaleas. And years ago, there were only spring blooming azaleas. Now there are recurring blooming azaleas, reblooming azaleas. And so look at these gorgeous azaleas that make us feel like it's spring. So they repeat bloom, which is really fabulous. This is called leopard plant. Its cousin actually has yellow spots on it, but it still is called giant leopard plant. Loves the shade, bold texture, fabulous accent in the garden. California native fern, Woodwardia, nice tall fern for the backdrop. It does go away in the winter and it comes back up in the spring. It is just a great fern for shady areas. And then back here we have flowering maple, which we've talked about pretty much all summer because it just blooms all summer. This is golden ruffles. And it's kind of this tall, kind of very relaxed, open sort of plant. If you want a little bit more dense, you nip back the ends to make them a little bit more dense. Blooms, blooms, blooms. Hummingbirds love them. So this is great. And then, oh my gosh, look at this incredible begonia. The tuberous begonias this year were absolutely out of control, stunning. This is an upright one with the picotee flower. And Brian brought in some hanging basket ones. Oh my goodness, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Back here we have our princess flower, or Tibouchina, and it loves kind of bright shade, maybe a little bit of morning sun on this, in this case. And that really brings us to all the other kind of morning sun, bright shade guys. This is Roseanne geranium. So these are both geraniums. This is an ivy geranium here, which is very traditional looking, very fun with their waxy leaves. And this is one of the geraniums that is not delicious to one of those geranium budworms. They don't eat them for some reason, which is really great. But the Roseanne geranium, look at that color and the color combination. Isn't that beautiful? Ah, gorgeous. Nice combination. Thank you, Nancy. This is a really cool salvia. It's called Spavaceae, and it is a shady salvia. Salvia we typically think of as hot sun lovers. This is one that absolutely adores the shade. And then we have Carpentaria californica, and it has an anemone-like flower, evergreen plant. Morning sun, afternoon shade, I think is its happiest spot, which is really, really good. So those are some of the things that I would consider to be shade or part shade. We'll take a look at the beautiful backdrop that Nancy put together for us and the taller trees in the back. Here on the far left is teddy bear magnolia. So this is a magnolia, evergreen magnolia with those beautiful russeted backs of the leaves, beautiful big white flowers, quite fragrant, that is not ginormous. So it tends to be taller rather than broader. The textbook height is 20 feet. That would never happen here in the valley because of our heavy soil. But if you can just imagine this lovely column of green in the garden. So beautiful. And I think it actually is happiest in a full morning sun setting, kind of on a backdrop of a fence or a wall, which would be great. Crepe myrtle, oh my goodness, as I keep saying, the tree of the valley. This is red rocket. Look at that color. The intensity is incredible. And then we have that beautiful purple guy next door that looks like catawba to me. And next to that we have chocolate mimosa. Look at those lacy, ferny leaves. Oh, and they have puffs of kind of pink flowers. Now, this is a tree you do not want to live under because there's lots of things that kind of come down from it, from its leaves in the fall to its flowers in the spring, but it's gorgeous to look at. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And the tall one next to that with the little orchid-like flowers at the top is called Taltalpa. Super, super drought tolerant, great plant for the valley. Likes to go dry between waterings, as does the tree next to it, which is our strawberry tree. And it is Arbutus marina, gorgeous sort of manzanita-esque bark that makes it even more interesting. Urn-shaped flowers that hummingbirds love. And then little red fruits that hang down, which are quite decorative, and they're edible, but they taste a little like, I don't know, styrofoam. Not really yummy. And speaking of, I think probably what we should do, ending on that note, is what we should do is we should go to Pam's recipe, which would be a perfect timing after that, and share with you some incredibly delicious things you can take from your garden and create for your family's dinner. Okay, Pam.
Today we are going to do just a super fresh garden pasta. This is just go out to your garden, grab a few cups of cherry tomatoes, bring in some basil and a lemon. And then you just, in addition to that, you will just need butter, garlic, your pasta, and then a little bit of Parmesan cheese. To make this pasta, you're just going to start with about 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. You can use salted, but if you go with unsalted, then you have control over the amount of salt you're putting in, which is always nice. Just let that simmer in the pot. When it's melted, throw in some minced garlic and get that just cooked up a little bit so it becomes fragrant. And then you're going to add your 2 cups of halved cherry tomatoes, more or less. I mean, this really is a very loose recipe. Let that cook for about 4 or 5 minutes and you really will see it kind of forming its own sauciness. And then you're going to put in 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. If you really want to get crazy, you can throw in some lemon zest as well for a little extra zing, but it really brightens the flavor of the tomatoes, adding the lemon. And then when you've cooked your pasta, you're going to throw your pasta just right into the pot that has your tomatoes. Add some basil that you've chopped up, and voila, you have it. Then you'll add on top a little bit of Parmesan. If you really want to make it a little silkier, smoother, you can throw some of the grated Parmesan in before you plate it up, but it's delicious and easy, and you can enjoy this through hopefully October with our wonderful weather and climate.
More and more tropical and subtropical fruit is able to grow in our valley because it is warming. Certainly all the citrus has grown for years, avocados we're getting used to. We have guavas that are arriving that need some protection in the winter. And then over here you can see this kind of giant cactus that is dragon fruit with that ginormous flower. Look at this. They tell me it's night blooming, so it looks like maybe we missed it last night. But this produces really delicious dragon fruit that people absolutely adore. This is an unusual one too. This is called Chinese date or jujube. And I see we have an espalier apple in the back that has fruit on it and mandarins. Very important to feed all of these and keep them well nourished so that they can produce that delicious fruit for you. So keep in mind all these things, and you know, we're here to kind of guide you to help you figure out what are those subtropical fruits that we can really grow here. A lot of other great edibles that we can do now. Strawberries, we certainly have lots of, and still they are ever bearing. So fall is a great time to harvest strawberries. All the herbs, oh my goodness. I'm seeing chives and rosemary, and we have lots of basils and sages. All of these are perfect. August is the time commercially when growers are planting in their fields in Salinas all of these amazing vegetables. So all the broccoli, the cabbage, the cauliflower, so all the cold fruit, Brussels sprouts, kohlrabi, all of the things that are leafy, lettuce and spinach and Swiss chard. All of that goes in now. The broccoli, if you get it in now, absolutely will produce before Thanksgiving, which is really great. Peas, beets, carrots, and cilantro, you want to just plant all year long, every 3 or 4 weeks. Just keep going with the cilantro. It's good. And then for the flowers, my goodness, pansies, violas, all time to think about getting them in the ground right now. The plants will arrive more in September when things cool off, but the seeds can get going right now, so that would be really fun. Okay, oh, the backdrop here, look at these incredible panicled hydrangeas. Aren't they incredible? They come out white and then go to pink, and oh, they're just stunning. That's shade, shade, shade. Other shade include fuchsias, justicia, coleus, more of the Chinese lantern or a butylon. Those are all shady. Remember, this will cut your watering in half the soil moisture when you mix it in the soil. All the sunny things, these are the things that I'm going to be refreshing my pots with. And that would include these incredibly beautiful vinca, literally will bloom until Thanksgiving. All the marigolds, dianthus, alyssum, zinnias, marigolds. This is pentas. The hotter it is, the better it is. Oh my gosh. This loves living in Palm Spring, Palm Desert. Really something. And this is argyranthemum here. So what this is telling us, this is our recipe for good garden soil. And we're going to put that on the screen for you to see, that it's a combination of all these really, really important elements to refresh your soil. The summer crops have taken all the goodness away. You want to re-energize the ground. Speaking of energizing, this is the complement of our mid-season, fresh, beautiful roses. We have Double Delight. Look at this one. This is called Romantica Ball Gown. Oh my gosh. Purple Tiger. And the fragrance is just fabulous. All the carpet roses here. But this is the time when Dave Lowell taught us, our amazing rose legend. Thank you, David. Our wonderful guy who, during his time here with us on Earth, gave us these incredible rose tips. So this is the recipe for unbelievable fall show for your roses. Again, we'll put that on the screen for you so that you can enjoy it. But if you feed them now, you will be bringing you will be bringing cut roses to the Rose Show on October 10th to exhibit in the Fall Rose Show. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So carpet roses here. Here we have lots of house plants all the way around. We have the tall Sansevieria, the one that is a great, these are actually great air cleaners. Sansevieria 24 hours a day. Spathiphyllum, our peace lily. We have this darling little ZZ plant. Here's another type of Sansevieria, Dracaena palms. And isn't this beautiful? We haven't seen it for a long time. This is called Chrysandra. Porch patio shade, indoor highlight, gorgeous orange flower, lovely accent color. And this beautiful Kalanchoe. Here's a pothos. And we have these great air plants, or tillandsias. Look at those, everything from ginormous to little guys. And that's the group of things for the house. And over here we have lots of great hot sun loving color plants that are relatively drought tolerant. Butterfly bush, oh my gosh, you've got to come and see the monarch swooping through the garden here. The word's out. As with every garden, this is our monarch butterfly garden, our monarch way station garden, but it's ever evolving. So this is just like, as I said, as with any garden, it's all, you're always adding to it, you're always experimenting. And so this is our garden that has been luring some really wonderful butterflies to the nursery. And as I mentioned, my goodness, the monarchs are absolutely just swooping around the garden center. They're so happy. They definitely got the memo. So make sure that you add to your garden some wonderful native milkweed and some great pollinator plants to support all of our wonderful butterflies and pollinators. Then we have Jupiter's beard here, Centranthus, which is really great. We have Scabiosa, we have all the salvias, unbelievable lantanas, and see if what we can do is get the variety on this guy here. This is the Caryopsis first edition Sapphire. Okay, beautiful deciduous shrub, but very water-wise. All the bougainvilleas. This is a beautiful yucca. Look at that accent in the garden. Isn't that something? Leucadendron, Texas Ranger, acacia. This is Australian fuchsia or Korea. And we have our cousin acacia here, which is so cute. Kangaroo paws. All the succulents, super water-wise, of course, are beautiful fall grasses that are coming along. Then we have our grevilleas, and we have our euphorbias, and of course we've got to have more milkweed, native milkweed for the monarchs, and landing pads for the monarchs and the butterflies on the yarrow, pentas. And this is a cal native too, and really great for pollinators. This is mimulus. And then we have the gerbera here, an accent of the beautiful vinca that I'm going to refresh my pots with. Then over here, all the cal natives. We have sages, pozo blue. We have the white sage. We have, again, I call this California fuchsia, Epilobium zauschneria. This little guy right here, late season blooming, Verbena de la Mina. More of the wonderful milkweed. The tall orange, oh my goodness, this is lion's tail. So beautiful in the garden, and so reliable and coming back year after year. Isn't that gorgeous? The orange, orange, orange. So, oh my goodness, that is the very quick, we need the 2-hour special even for August, for all the amazing things that you can do in August. So get out there and enjoy. Most importantly, don't forget to water. When you're thirsty, they're thirsty. So make sure you support all your plants. Get ready for the next vegetable season. Get your roses powered up and ready to go for For fall, you'll get an incredible bloom, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. So many wonderful class offerings and workshops coming up in August and September. You know, Baby Story every Thursday morning at 9:30 continues to be an amazing hit. Bring your 0 to 3-year-olds and their siblings to come for a half hour of great fun, reading books and singing songs and having a great time and connecting. But gosh, we've got Fairy Garden and Dragon Den workshop. We have an amazing tropical and subtropical fruit class that's going to happen. That's going to happen on August 15th. We're going to have a houseplant repotting workshop. And then we're going to do after hours painting with Sue, a propagation class. We haven't done that. That'll be fun. And then Native Bird Connection will be here depending on the weather, Staghorn Fern Mounting, Kokedama workshop. It just goes on and on and on. It is just going to be so much fun. And remember, the third Saturday of every month at 2 o'clock, the Tri-Valley Bonsai Society meets here at Alden Lane. They are so welcoming. If you are interested at all in knowing about bonsai, if you do bonsai, come and be with this fabulous group.